Hello, thank you for joining me for a look at the applications card assessment strategy. We'll talk about what are applications cards, contexts for their use, advantages and limitations, best practices, and providing feedback. Applications cards are a formative assessment strategy. The purpose of formative assessment is to monitor student learning and to provide feedback while learning is in progress. Students are asked to generate authentic ideas of practical applications of learned content. This process encourages learners to connect theoretical knowledge to real-world contexts, reinforcing the relevance and transferability of their learning. Additionally, the activity supports the activation of prior knowledge, integrating it with new information. And here's the process. First, identify a key concept or procedure that students have recently learned. Second, develop the assessment prompt that invites learners to generate authentic real-world applications of the concept. Third, model the task. Write 2 or 3 sample responses to illustrate the depth and quality of answers expected. Fourth, clarify the purpose. Explain that the goal of the applications card activity is to encourage fresh applications of learning, not repetition of class examples. Fifth, set timelines and feedback expectations. So what are the contexts for best use? The applications card strategy is highly flexible and adaptable, making it suitable for virtually any discipline or subject area. That includes social sciences, natural sciences, vocational and technical education. According to the Classroom Learning Objectives Inventory, this assessment technique can be effectively applied across multiple levels of learning, such as basic academic skills, higher order thinking, and interpersonal or civic competencies. Here are some examples. First, education and instructional design. The prompt. Identify one way today's concept of formative assessment could be applied in your own teaching or a training context. Sample responses. Use exit tickets after lessons to gauge student understanding and adjust instruction. Another one is implement peer feedback sessions during project-based learning. And create short self-assessment checklists for learners to reflect on their progress. One limitation of the strategy is that some of the generated ideas could include applications that are risky, dangerous, or unethical. Timely instructor follow-up is essential to prevent such misconceptions from taking hold. Another limitation is that the assessment process can take more time than anticipated. This challenge can be mitigated by intentionally allocating additional time within the lesson plan or by narrowing the scope of the prompt. Finally, evaluator bias may influence the interpretation of student responses. To minimize this risk, instructors should remain mindful of learner diversity and design the classroom assessment technique, content, and context to ensure inclusivity, cultural sensitivity, and relevance for all students. What are the advantages of the strategy? The applications card assessment fosters an intrinsic motivation to learn by encouraging students to integrate new knowledge with their prior understanding, a process that is both validating and engaging. This integration supports deeper cognitive processing, which in turn promotes long-term knowledge retention as learners generate meaningful constructs and authentic contexts for application. The strategy also provides instructors with an indirect means of assessing the transfer of learning. Now let's look at some best practices in using this strategy. Evaluation steps. Assess accuracy and appropriateness. That is, determine whether each application accurately reflects the concepts or procedure and whether it is suitable for real-world use. Evaluate quality and creativity. Categorize responses. Review all application cards and mark each response using the following shorthand system: G for great, A for acceptable, M for marginal, NA for not applicable. Sort and analyze. Organize the cards by quality and relevance to identify patterns of understanding, misconceptions, or areas for improvement. Highlight creativity. Identify particularly innovative or insightful applications to share with permission as exemplars. Here are some implementation tips. If students find it difficult to create applications individually, allow them to work in small groups to stimulate idea exchange. Alternatively, assign the task as homework to provide more reflection time. Another practice is to share a compiled list of submitted applications and invite students to sort them into clusters, thematic categories to deepen their analysis. Let's look at how to provide feedback. Clearly explain the evaluation process and share sample responses to illustrate expectations and quality levels. After collecting the applications cards, select one or two representative examples from each rating category and revise or anonymize them as needed to prepare for a class-wide discussion. During feedback, share the evaluation rubric and highlight common trends or recurring misconceptions to guide reflective dialogue. Conclude by showcasing the most creative and insightful examples to recognize innovation and reinforce deep learning. To summarize, the applications card is a formative assessment that asks students to generate real-world applications of newly learned concepts. The strategy is flexible and adaptable across disciplines and levels of study. It fosters intrinsic motivation, creativity, and long-term retention while allowing instructors to assess how well students can apply theory to practice. Key considerations include managing time, addressing inappropriate examples, and ensuring inclusive evaluation.